It's March 18th, 2019. My name is Eric Haluzek with All Corners Home Inspections. This is the exterior evaluation for this single-family home on 7th Street in Corvallis, Oregon. As with all the videos in this report, we request that you view this video as supplemental to the written version of the report to which this video has been attached. At the time of inspection, there were a number of challenges with the exterior portion of this single-family home, mostly having to do with fascia and soffit and also door and window trim. We'll do our best to detail those challenges here in this clockwise loop, starting at the locked gate at the rear portion of the structure and ending at the opposite side of that locked gate. First challenge we'll identify is that the trim at both the right and left-hand sides of the rear entry door to the basement are deteriorated and are actually below grade. This would allow for the end grain of that material to directly wick water up into the end grain, and then of course should lead to dry rot at those locations. I'm going to turn the corner now to the right-hand side of the structure. This is the power meter leading from the alleyway at the rear portion of the structure. The wire directly above that is the cable line, the coaxial cable, serviced by Comcast in this case. Got a dryer vent and an additional vent here at the right-hand side of the structure. We have vegetation touching the side of the building. This may seem like a fairly minor challenge, but over time, wood-destroying insects will use these bushes as direct conduit to allow them directly into the structure. Typically, wood-destroying insects don't like covering ground from the ground level up to the side of the structure along the concrete, and that's a nice little barrier to prevent those organisms from accessing the living area of the house. This sort of condition would allow those wood-destroying insects to have that direct access, and such close proximity to the structure would also prevent the siding from drying out in between rain cycles, greatly increasing the opportunity for wood-destroying insects and dry rot to occur. We're going to turn the corner to the front portion of the structure now. At the entrance cover on the right-hand side as well as the left-hand side, we've noticed that the corners of the structure at the lid are actually starting to not delaminate, but are starting to deform from each other. This is probably a condition that's been occurring for quite some time now, although we'd recommend getting that area caulked. Got railings missing at the right and left-hand side of the entrance patio. Going to turn the corner now to the left-hand side of the structure, where we note the chimney, the gas line which runs to the chimney case. Got minor amount of siding deterioration at this egress window at the left-facing rear portion of the structure. And at this location, at the rearmost window, I'll give you a little perspective here, the rearmost window, rearmost trim is pretty badly deteriorated. This is a condition, so my background is actually in historic home restoration. This is the sort of condition where we would recommend budgeting not only for trim replacement, but also evaluating the framing behind to make sure that there's not been any sort of impact to the structural portion of the build. The sort of lean that we've identified here is characteristic of a seasonal porch. So this porch has been enclosed, obviously, to allow for year-round use. This slope was actually framed into the structure, more than likely at the build at the time of original construction, and is probably of no concern. The subsurface drain, this is not having to do with the exterior portion of the structure, but the subsurface drain here at this location was clogged with debris. However, we've cleared it. We've actually run a scope to about 6 feet. It appears to be relatively clear all the way to the 6-foot level, or 6-foot horizontal run. We've got a substantial dog door here at the left-hand side of the rear portion of the structure. This is not only a security challenge, but it could also be considered a heating and air conditioning challenge. This porch is not heated. However, having unnecessary amounts of cool and warm air enter and exit through this sort of location will greatly reduce the home efficiency of even that location. This has been Eric Haluzek with All Corners Home Inspections.